Mic check, mic check. What's going on, everybody? I'm just checking in, man. I ain't been up here in a minute. Things is happening. Life is life, and trips were taken. But I'ma just uh, quickly surmise what's going on as far as what's going with me personally. But I just want to check in. Hope everybody's well. Uh, I see you as you pop in. I'll shout you out, whatever the case may be. Um, so I know a lot of y'all I put up a short, stating that I had to go away for a weekend to Texas, and it was in the Dallas area, the suburbs of Dallas. But I went for a wedding, and it was, it was refreshing for me, right? Because I see, even though this is my cousin, my first cousin, uh, he got married, you know, let's say he's 30, he's in his 30s. Um, no kids. He married a beautiful young lady. Um, I just felt like I just felt there was hope, right? Because a lot of the times we hear so much about how people are not doing things in the right way, in the right manner. You know what I mean? We know that we know or we presume that there's a lot of kids being brought into the world not just out of wedlock, but without their parents, right? They may have their mom, but they don't have their dad, or the mom might have the kid and give it up. Whatever the case may be, it's a lot of distortion going on with numbers and things like that. But just going to see my cousin get married, knowing that he recently lost his dad a couple years ago, and deciding that it's time for him to settle down. He's a very responsible young man. Truth be told, he's more responsible for his age than I ever thought about being. Right, like he took on family issues. Like he just, your mom, I got this. Your grandma, I got this. Your auntie, I got this. You know what I mean? Well, his mom got a couple brothers, but uh, on her dad's side, but on his grandmother's side, which is my dad and my uncles, as I already told y'all, there is no male standards. But yet he took on that stand. He found a way to be responsible, not being in the streets, not being claimed by any association with no gangs or nothing like that. He did it the honest way. He got himself together, went to work, finished high school, did all of these things. Like I said, he did the most important thing. He didn't just intercede with following the ways of the world. Being young and promiscuous. Well, I don't know if a male could be promiscuous, but the fact that he didn't have any children, I think that's astounding to me. You know what I mean? He's already a uncle, right? So he had a niece and a nephew, and the fact that he did things in the right way, it allowed me to say that there's hope, and there's hope, and it's not just because it's my family. It's just that some of the people that do the right things, they don't get the recognition. They don't get the light shine on them because we so used to looking at the wrong things that when the right situations and the right actions are occurring, they don't get that limelight. We don't celebrate the person that's responsible. We only want to talk about those people that aren't holding themselves accountable. But y'all know me, if you're responsible, your account is going to be up to par because you're responsible, right? So I'm always going to shout out those people that do the right things. And like I said, for him, he did the right thing, even though it was in Texas, and even though this last weekend, if you was in Texas, if you in the Dallas area, it was triple digits for that entire week. I caught some of that, right? And I caught it bad because it was 105 and 107 and 102 or 3. And I'm like, man, it's crazy. And then me jump from east, the Eastern Standard Time Zone to the Central Time Zone threw me off a little bit. But the fact that that heat was out there, he got married, and then Riaz, what's going on with you? Um, he ups, and I'm thinking we gonna do a ceremony like to give toasts and cheers and everything like that, congratulations and things like that. He like, nah, I'm gonna go off the norm. We going to Top Golf. I'm like, damn, I feel overdressed, got my slacks on. Well, not my slack. I got my dress shorts on, my dress shirt on, and I'm like, yo, I feel kind of out of order. But he's like, nah, you good, man. I just appreciate you coming, and that warmed me. You understand what I'm saying? That warmed me, because at the end of the day, man, if you know me, I'm always gonna pop up for them people that I rock with. But to say thank you and to meet his wife, like I said, she's a beautiful young lady, good heart, good soul, right? And then him being responsible, just looking at my aunt, and she just like, you know what, man, I gotta let my son go, and she did. You know what I mean? He's in Texas, she's in Georgia, but I'm in Georgia now, so I get to check up on her all the time. But we got that. Yo, listen, man, call me if mom's doing. If you know what I mean, go check on mom, and I got you. You understand? Like, the fact that the dynamics is it don't even need to be spoken of. It's a beautiful thing. You don't got to remind me of doing you. You don't have to be reminded to do the right thing. You don't have to be reminded to check up on those people. That's getting up there in age. We seeing all these people passing away. I know y'all worry about those celebrities. Dolly Parton, Tim Curry, Hayden, the young lady Hayden Panettiere, right? All these people gone before, well, Dolly and Tim is 80 years old. You know what I mean? But still, it just goes to show you, man, we take things for granted. We take these situations for granted because, like I said, we all think we got tomorrow. We know tomorrow's not promised, but still in all, we want to hold things off. It's time for us to do the right things like now. Yeah, and that's crazy. They got a tropical storm named Dolly. That's after Dolly passes. That's weird, but that's another story for another day. Um, it's just time to celebrate. It's just time to say, you know what, man, congratulations. Congratulations to those that are doing the right thing. Congratulations for those that are taking time off, you know, away from certain situations to get their minds in order, to get their peace in order. Y'all know I talk about excuse me, peace all the time. But if you let that other piece get in, you let them other pieces get into your life, excuse me, it's a different world. It's a different atmosphere. You know what I mean? Because we keep worrying about the Joneses and the Johns and the James and the Browns and the Walkers and the whatever. We keep worrying about those people, and they're not going to give you a heaven or hell to live in, right? Only you could produce your heaven or your hell. Only you could be placed there. And the fact that we keep worrying about what other people think and what other people do, it's it seems to hold us back for no reason. It seems to keep us out of things and places that we don't need to be. So, like I said, over this weekend, I got the guy, I went to his home, beautiful home, you know, not shocking because, you know, I'm, I know Texas is a very large state. It's this, if I'm not mistaken, it's the second largest state, only behind Alaska. But yo, the space and opportunity, their schools look like 100 acres type situation. They got all these sporting events there. They got baseball, football, they got a basketball. Like I'm like, damn, this is a lot of space. And yet, they do the best to make, you know, room, not room, but they do their best to make you feel comfortable, even though that weather wasn't comfortable. Very hospitable people, right? Uh, you know, it was it was. I'm not gonna say it was diverse, but they made you feel welcome. You get a few little stares because you're from out of town and things like that. But for the most part, they make you feel, you know, welcome. You know, go to the store, they greet you. Hey, did you find everything you need? Uh, yeah, I did. Thank you very much. You know, oh, your children are beautiful, and just that. You know, they just make you feel welcome, right? And so I just think it's time for us, you know, to you know share that love. I'm glad you're doing well, Riaz, this evening. Yeah, it's evening for you because it's 5 o'clock on your time. You know what I mean? It's just, it's just a welcoming thing that you go through these situations and, and you see things done in decency and in order, man. Like it's just a beautiful thing, you know. And yet the weekend ended, and then you return back to reality, and reality says there's still hope. We still have opportunities to change or improve. I don't like the word change for those of you that don't know. To improve, to gather, to uplift yourself, and to doing the things that you feel that you need to do. Or for some of you that don't feel the necessity to do it, what you want to do. If you want to start living right, you go ahead and live right. If you want to stay where you at, you stay where you at. Right? The choices are yours. But you're gonna need people that's going to have to support you, and not just the yes sayers because they could be leading you down the wrong path. We just need people that's going to encourage us. Like I know there's people out here, that have things going on in their life, right? Yet still in all, you still need to surround yourself with those people that's going to keep you in line, keep you in not in line, but keep your eye on the prize, keep you focused on what you felt like you was going to do before the distractions came in your life, before the pieces started falling down, before the pieces broke up into your piece, walked into your piece. These are the people that you need around you. These are the people that you should be uh in place with, right? Now I know because I've been going out, I'm not really in touch with what's going on. But before I've been missing in action, there's a couple of people that's been missing. You know what I mean? Like, uh, you know, I just hope that they're okay. If they hear, if they hear the voice, if you need to talk, you need to vent, you need to just need something from somebody that's neutral. I'm here for you, right? I did my evaluation of myself, and I know, you know, in the year of the one and the year of the, self evaluating. At the end of the day, I understand. I'm going to be the person that I always have been. I just know that there's sometimes you need to step away from things to in order to fuel yourself to get yourself together. That's what this year has brought me into. It was a lot of times that I would say, you know what, I'm drained, but I'm still going over there to help this person. I'm still going over there to help that person, but yet not giving nothing because I'm drained. I didn't take the time for myself to say, you know what, let me get myself together. Let me make sure I am there in totality because I'm pretty sure there's some people that seen seen or heard me and said to themselves, "There's something off. There's something wrong." And if they would have told me, it would have been appreciated. It would have been appreciated. But it's up to you to feel it within yourself. When you know that there's something off, go get yourself. Go evaluate yourself, examine yourself, or encourage yourself to make sure that you're doing the things that you need to do to be here for another day, or to be here for another month or another year, or however much time that you have to, you go through. And that's what I have been doing over the past over the past 8 months. And September's almost here, and that's crazy in itself. Because I was always, I was just saying Happy New Year's and Happy Birthday to somebody whose birthday was on the 31st. My favorite logical thinker. I hope she's doing well. I haven't seen her in a while. You know, but still in all, you know what I mean? It's just so it's so much going on in the world, and you know what I mean. And like I said, I'm checking in. I am okay. I am doing well. I'm doing fine. I'm just going through the stages of life to just where you're examining things, and You examine your surroundings. You get to observe. You get to pinpoint what's right or what's wrong. You're not doing it for validation. You're doing it for confirmation in your life. And and you get to see things from a different perspective because now you taking it upon yourself to do this for yourself. It's wonderful to help people. It's wonderful to do all of those things that need that help, that need that word of encouragement. And now it's time for you to take care of you. It's like I have to take care of me. Some of us have to take care of ourselves. I get it. There's no I in team, but guess what? If you're not a part of it, what team are you a part of? If you're not involved, how are you on a team? So you have to take care of yourself in order to be a part of a team. I must take care of myself in order to be a part of a team, right? And you get, and when you do that, you get to participate more. You get to do more because you're able enough, you're strong enough, you're healthy enough, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, however you want to put it, and then you will be able to participate because you've done the things that you need to do to get your house, your storage house, your storehouse in order, right? And so this is one of those times to where you just gotta self reflect. This is one of those times where you have to take a step back and see what's going on. Shout out to those people that's been checking on me, as they know I'm okay because I respond, I check, and tell them what the situation is if there is something going on, right? But for the most part, it's just me, taking a step back, gathering my things together because guess what? 2027 is going to be a new year, and it's right around the corner. And hopefully, I make it. And if I do make it, I'm trying to prepare myself because that's going to be a different year. It's a lot of ones, and it's an 11 year. But we'll talk about that when that time comes. That's two ones. You don't, you know what I mean. So it's super super take care of yourself type time, but and energies and things like that. But we'll talk about that down the line. But still, in all, this year you have to prepare yourself for what's getting ready to happen today. Like for me today is a down day. It's raining outside, so I don't have to go out ripping and running and do those things that I normally do during this time. So what I did is say, you know what, let me check in and let everybody know I'm doing good. I'm chilling, um, and I'm still around. You know what I mean? So it's just there's a lot of people that care. It's a lot of people that care. Like I said, shout out to those people that's been checking in on me and things like that. And I see, I'm not on here as much as I used to be, because I'm self, I'm self, I'm self caring for myself. I'm worried about my welfare, my my state of mind, my state of peace, my state of joy, my state of comfort, right? And when you do that, you have to take time to do the things that you need to do. It doesn't mean that I don't want to do this anymore. That's not what this means. It doesn't mean that I'm giving up on this channel or anything like that. It's just sometimes you just have to sit back and say, you know what? How can I be better? How can I improve myself? It's not about, my message is my message. Sometimes it's inspired and sometimes it's just, come out and talk. You know what I mean? But other than that, you know what I mean? I just, it, the giving up mode is not in me. The quitting mode is not in me. I've never quitted, you know, a day in my life. Even if I was to go to school and stop, I'd find a way to finish it. You understand? If I was in college and they talk about no student loans, I'll find a way to finish it. It may not be the way that most people would do it. I probably learn it on my own and say, you know what, I understand if I know how to become an accountant, or if I understand how to watch the stock market, or I know how to balance my checkbook, or things of that nature. I would find a way to do things, even though I didn't finish the actual course, But sometimes life can make a course for you. And those are the courses that, most of us are learning on the go as we go along anyway. Even in your 30s, in your 40s, you're still learning things. There is no book about aging, right? Those of you that's in your 30s, you understand what I'm talking about. It's not the same as you was in your 20s. Those of you in your 40s, it's not the same as if you was in your 30s. You might get up, like got a crink in your back. Oh my God, I don't get up as fast as I used to. Yeah, it's called aging. And even if you are taking care of yourself, you still got to slow down because your agility is not as it was 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Our muscles, we try to keep our muscles in form and shape together. But guess what? Some of the muscles is starting to lose its weight. Scorp, how you? You know what I mean? It's all because we're aging, but we still have to take care of ourselves. We still got to make sure that we are in mobile mode, meaning we don't have to use we don't need the assistance of somebody to do that. Some of us do because our bodies are breaking down. It doesn't make you less of a person. It just means, glad to hear it, Scorp. It just means that, we need a little bit of assistance. And be glad that you are getting that assistance. Hopefully, like I said, somebody's coming around to check on you. Somebody, hey, you all right? Hey, Scorp, you good? Yeah, I just wanted to check on you. You know what I mean? Riaz, you young. So, but even in your youngness, you're still gonna make decisions that you need to be checked up on, right? You may feel like you got that hot song right now. Somebody might say, you know what, don't put that song out yet. Because it's just not time for it yet. In due time, it'll be ready for you. Okay. I'll give you my info in a little bit. Um, it's just like I said, it's just time. It's just time, for people to check in for that reason. You know what I mean? Like, I listen, Scorp. I don't even know if you. I don't know how much you caught. I went to listen. I don't know if you was here earlier. I just told the people I was in Texas for a marriage, for a wedding, and it was 105 and 107 and 102. I said, man, woo. My team colors, blue. Well, I got a bunch of teams. Yeah, I'm from New York, so I got blue and orange. That's baseball, basketball. Green is football. Uh, yeah, that's it. Blue and orange. Blue and orange, and then green for the Jets. Yeah, that's because I'm from New York. Shout out to New York. But yeah, I was in Texas Scorp, and it was hot. It was like at the sun was down, and it was still like 90 degrees at night. And I'm like, yo, this weather is different, different. I'm in the hotel. People, there's an outdoor pool out here. People, conversating like, damn, it's hot, and it's like 11:30 at night. I had to adjust from the Eastern Standard Time to the Central Time, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. This is a lot. And they like, yeah, it's not that bad. I'm like, it's not that bad, but I'm just not accustomed to it. It's a new scene for me. It's a new area. Shout out that I was allowed to go to a new scenery, a new area, but still, it's just different when you're not familiar with things. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like to go out of their comfort zone because there's too much unfamiliar territory for you. Oh, absolutely. Hey, that's what they tell me. I don't know. I don't plan on visiting down there. You know what I mean? I don't plan on visiting hell, right? But there's so many people score. They make their own hell, and that's why it be scorching hot. You know what I'm saying? So people. That's why I tell people you got to be careful. Sometimes you just got to examine yourself. Sometimes you got to make sure you in the right place at the right time, and not the wrong place at the wrong time. Not because people are shooting at you to kill you or anything like that. This is people shooting at you to bring you down. People are there to distill your joys. People are there to take that comfort and humbleness away from you. There's so many people out here trying to make you the old version of yourself that I'd rather just stay away from them, because if I show the old version of myself, it's not going to be pretty, and it's not going to, and it's going to take away from the growth that you have done throughout your time of maturing. I'm gonna say maturing, because when you decide to step away from the dumb stuff, that's maturation, right? I know this book says when I was a child I did childish things, but when I'm adult I pulled away the childish thing. That's called maturation. You have transformed. You have metamorphed into an adult, right? You're not grown, but you still have room to grow. You know what I mean? And that's what like I said, I'm just checking in, just because I'm still trying to understand things. I'm still trying to grow. I'm still trying to figure out, what's what, why this ain't happening, why that's not happening. Am I doing enough? Am I not doing enough? Am I supposed to do more? But the one question is that I'm not going to ask is, should I surrender? Should I quit? I'm not doing that at all. I would never. I'm not doing that. There's no quitting me, right? If it's a failure, it's a failure. I understand that, but I'm going to give it my all until I know it's a defeated foe, right? If life is going to take me away from something, I know I gave it my all. It just wasn't that time or that season for it, So that's basically what's been going on. As far as these past couple of weeks, I don't think I did a live in like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? And the promise that I'm going to get back on schedule. It sounds good, but something has to inspire me. Sometimes, because one thing is just to talk, the talk. That's not me, right? I like to come up here and give something of use to somebody, and even you know, if it's for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, if I feel like I met my production, I could sit down. I can go ahead and say, you know what, I did my part. No one could tell me that it hasn't been done, because I've done it. You know what I mean? And that is always going to be my goal. If I feel something needs to be said, I'll say it, whether it's over here or whether it's on Sports Chat with Mr. 33. You know what I mean? From in the world of sports, and or in the world of reality, meaning real life. And sports is real life, but you know what I mean? It's 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 two different areas of life. You know what I mean? When we over there, we talk about sports, and then sometimes life kicks in and we talk about that. We appreciate you. We appreciate you too, Scott. And that's the blessing. People do it for numbers. People do it for ratings. I do this because I truly know that I'm doing the right thing, and somebody is going to get something out of it. I don't be caring about looking at the looking at the views while I'm going live. It doesn't matter to me. I don't even really check the views, after the show's over, or next week or whatever the case may be. Why? Because if they viewed it, they viewed it. If they didn't, they didn't. You know what I mean? But the consistency of what I do, or me appearing, it should be, it should be viewed the most. Oh, he did another live. Damn, I missed it. I ain't even know. But what is he talking about this time? Whether they talk good or bad about it, that's not my call. The call for me to do it is what the call is. You know what I mean? But like today, I didn't have nothing really, really to talk about. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to check in because, like I said, I haven't done this in a couple of weeks, and I I want people to know that I'm okay. If they care enough to ask the question, I want them to know that I'm okay. I'm in good standard. I'm in good health. I'm in good form. I'm still around. I'm always going to be around. Right? It's just sometimes you just don't have the oomph to give. You don't have the gusto to give. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure, my 33 brothers feeling the same way sometimes. You know what I mean? But still in all, to have the topic, to have these type of conversations is one thing, right? That's why we be at Mrs. 33 all the time, because sports is sports. We could talk sports. Why? Because there's something always going on in that world. You know what I mean? They got that situation with the WNBA when the guy is talking about he sees himself as a woman or and all that other, like, that's something to talk about over there. And we'll go ahead and tackle that topic. We'll go ahead and tackle that conversation. You know what I'm saying? So there's always something to talk about over there. Here is different because how can I inspire somebody? How can I give somebody an encouraging word when you don't feel encouraged yourself? Sometimes when you have these conversations, why you trying to encourage and you pointing out there's three fingers pointed back at you. So as I encourage you, I gotta encourage myself as well. That's why I did the whole sabbatical of taking the time to examine myself, to make sure that I am able to hold myself responsible for the things that I'm saying. That's why a lot of the times I just can't come up here and blabber, because I am responsible. And when I blabber and I'm just not talking about nothing, it's something different. That's why this live, it might feel a little different, because I'm not really talking about nothing. I'm just checking in. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still around. This, that, and the third. I spoke about what happened over the weekend as far as my cousin doing the right, getting married and stuff like that, being there to represent, my family, my dad, and things like that. They're no longer, just to do that, right? That's still a part of me. I still have to represent who I am, whether it's here, be me. What you hear is who I am. If you saw me, that's what I am. That's who I am. Right? And even with that, you still have to make sure that you are still in your faculties and nothing is distracting you from becoming a the different version of yourself. Not the improved version, but the difference. The difference means, you know, you're weighing your good and your bad, right? You got to make sure that you are able to grow and remove the things that's not supposed to go with you. You know what I mean? So, but it like I said, it's a part of life, you know what I mean? But this weekend was about me seeing some good, some goodness, some good people uniting and becoming one in marriage and things like that. So, I was super, super happy. I got to, like I said, I got to see my aunt, I got to see my little cousin. Uh, you know, we got to chit chat. She says she's okay, but you've been around people long enough, and the smile ain't the same smile, right? Because what's up? You okay? Nah, I'm just going through. Oh, okay. Well, you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? And because I do that, like I tell y'all, if I do this here, I do that outside of here as well, right? I am that concerned friend. I am that concerned family member. I am just that concerned person because I rock with you. There's no condition that I will not be the person that I am. I remember me. It took a lot from me, but when people don't like me, I still try to be there for them, and that's crazy. I know people like, "What the hell wrong with you?" Right? But that's just me. I'm always going to be me. All right. Well, he might be going through something. He don't like me because whatever. I ain't 6'9". You know what I mean? Like whatever it is, or she may not like me because I don't have a 12 pack. You know what I'm saying? Like my body ain't sculptured. You know what I mean? But the fact that I'm me is going what's what makes me who I am. It's what made me come on this thing and have these conversations with y'all. You know what I mean? And like I said, I get it. A lot of people fell off, and a lot of people think it's boring, and I'm cool with that. But the fact of the matter is, I am who I am. Am I improving? I know I am. Is it being seen? That's another story. You know what I mean? So we just gonna keep ourselves in view. We're gonna keep ourselves in sight. We're gonna continue the goal of doing what we need to do, whether it's over here or Mr. 33. We're gonna be around. Always gonna be around. You know what I mean? We might be over there a little bit more because the football season get ready to start and things like that. And I know he's been trying to get people to do fantasy league and things like that. But even if that's not a success, the season gonna go on, and guess what? He gonna go on. He gonna still be on. He's still gonna give you some scores and stats and things like that, and talk about what happened over there. Just like over here, something that inspires me. I'm getting, I might get inspired to talk about something. Push live and go on out there and have that conversation. You know what I mean? So, I just wanted to let y'all know I'm still around. I'm checking in. I just wanted to let like I said, I'm still around. I'm okay. Uh, I'm still, I'm like I said, I'm in. I feel great. This last weekend showed me that hey, there's still room for growth. There's still room for improvement. It's not a promise that everything is going to go downhill. It's just trending that way. But this wedding that I went to, even though it's my cousin, and even though, matter of fact, he's the last of my cousins in on that side. He's the youngest of the cousins. So it just okay. Well, most of us did the things that we needed to do. You know what I mean? Most of us grew up. Most of us got ourselves together. He just did one better. He got married. He got married and said, you know what, Ma, I love you, but it's time for me to be me. It's time for me to think about me. And it doesn't mean I don't love you. It doesn't mean I'm that far away. Besides, you got them over there with you. They know my number. I got their number. We know how to call each other. I'm just a phone call away. And that was beautiful. And that's what he deserves. That's because that's what he chose to do. So he feels he deserved it. He went and got it. And that's what I want for y'all. I want y'all to go and get what you're supposed to get because you deserve it. Right? You know, people always want things handed to them. Well, we'll talk about that. Matter of fact, I may speak on that maybe in a couple of days. Earning versus deserving. We're gonna have that conversation because when things it's not the same. It's not the same. When you work for it, it's a different manner. But we're gonna talk about that in the next couple of days, hopefully. God willing. Give me the words. I gotta figure the words to express how I really feel about that situation. And building off of that, it allows me to see, what, there's some good things that's around the corner. Not just for me, but for somebody else that's been around me. So I don't mind sharing. I don't mind sharing myself with those people because they've done the work. I don't mind sharing myself with those that are really going through a situation. Why? Because they're trying to come through with that. And if I am able to assist them through it, then hey, I'm there to do it. So it's just like I said, it's just for us to go ahead and go forward. Take those steps forward. You're gonna look behind you, go ahead, look behind you. Stop. Don't break your neck looking behind you. Keep your eyes forward. Take care of yourselves. Continue to work on yourselves. Continue to be the person that you want to be, or you need to be in some of y'all cases. Don't let the world tell you you gotta do this. No, what you gotta do is be happy. What you gotta do is find your peace. What you gotta do is make sure that everything that you need to be taken care of is taken care of. At the end of the day, you the one that gotta take those walks. You the one that gotta put your feet in those shoes and walk them miles. You gotta do it because it's gonna focus. It's gonna be about you. Now it's great to have people around you to support you, but most of the time, it's gonna be you making that final call. You making that final decision. Should I stay? Should I go? Should I love? Should I hate? Should I be happy? Should I be sad? You gotta make those choices. You know. So like I said, I'm checking in. Also, real quick, like I said, I haven't been on here in a couple of weeks. Uh, hoping that those people that went through those storms in the Midwest, Indianapolis, uh, 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 um, Illinois, Wisconsin, y'all made it through it safe. I know we got a couple of people from there. Also, those people out there in New York, the boroughs. I heard about tornadoes in Queens and New Jersey, tri-state. Listen, man, and that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Things are happening in life to where it's a surprise to you, and you're not prepared to do the things that you're ready to do. But now it's time for you to be on ready mode because anything could happen, right? They said I saw the video where there was a tornado in Far Rockaway. And if you know Far Rockaway, that's far one, but it's in the ocean. It's the Atlantic Ocean right there, and whirlwind and things like that is starting up there. And you're like, damn, that's crazy. You don't know the last time that there was a tornado. You might hear of a hurricane happening out there, like Superstorm Sandy hit them, but a tornado that's a rarity. And I'm pretty sure people wasn't prepared for it because they never had the expectation of a tornado, even though some people would say, well, you should have been ready because Sandy was there. No, that's not how this goes. People are so focused on what's going on today, they're not looking back to yesterday. Say, you know what, I need to make sure that doesn't happen again, because a lot of people don't know what happened back then because they're so focused on making sure they got a roof over their head, make sure their kids got food to eat, they got food to eat, they got clothes on their back, this, that, and the third. And that's why you got to have some people that's going to be concerned about you, that's going to love you in spite of your little attitudes, in spite of your crazy antics. They're going to love you without a condition. That's love for me. Love is unconditional. If you got a condition on it, you just like me a lot, a real lot. And me and Word, we go back and forth about, you can love somebody without liking them. I'm different. If I never liked you, how the hell could I love you? Those are steps in the right directions. From like to love to faith to all of those things. Those are steps going up in a thing. Or faith, like, love, however you want to put it in order, right? The fact of the matter is those are steps going upward. I can't love you without, I can't like you without, I can't love you and not like you. I might not like the things that you've done, but it doesn't mean I don't love you. I might be mad that you cursed me out, but I still love you. I may not like the way you spoke to me like you crazy. Nah, I don't see how that's possible, Scorp. I don't see how that's possible. I don't know how you could love somebody you don't like. That's like saying you start from scratch. You start from scratch to make biscuits without dough. It's that's how it is for me. I don't see how that's possible. You understand? Unless I don't see how that's possible unless you already got the dough in there. The dough got to be in there in order for the bread to be baked. So once that happens, it's already done. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. We different people, and that's what I'm saying. We different. That was my point. Like I can't love somebody and not like them. If I don't like you, I don't like you. If I don't like you, I can't love you. See what I'm saying? Those are steps going up in this thing for me, in my eyes, in my judgment, in my opinion, in my truth. That may not be the truth, but it's my truth. Right? It's like saying I love the car, but I don't like the color. If I don't like the color, I'm gonna change it to something that I love. And then that means I like it enough to love it. But that's why I say, we'll like I said, things are picking up in my direction. So we can always have these conversations. We can always go back and forth, and not even back and forth. You could explain to me why it makes sense to you, just like how Word would do it with me, and I could say, well, I just don't agree. Let's just agree to disagree. You still my guy. I love you. I still love you, Score. You know what I'm saying? Like we can agree to disagree. We are going to be the examples of people that know, that understand. We can have conversations. We may have disagreements, but we can still love each other in the disagreements. We are going to show people that it is possible to disagree but still love each other. Not tearing each other's head off. Not talking about people like animals. Not going down the rabbit hole, so to speak, about talking about your family, this family, that family, or that family. We're going to agree to disagree. We're going to keep it moving. That's what I do. That's what I'm trying to get here. That's what we do with Mr. 33. You know, we had a great conversation over there about, two teams, and these two teams are rivals. But we agreed, hey, you brought up some excellent points. We would love to have you come back. All right, well, we'll see you in the NBA season. All right. Well, we're waiting to see you. We hope you come back and we can have those conversations later on. Why? Because conversation is a builder. Debates are not builders for me. Debate means you trying to destroy my credibility so you can look right in life. Because that's what debates do. I'm trying to destroy you and still look right at the same time. Nah, I ain't got time for that. I'm good. You good? I'm good. Shit, I'm straight. And that's where you go with that. So, the fact that I mean, I'm still around. She said it's the God in me. Yeah, as long as you know that God is within you, you have God-like qualities that are within you. That's why I tell y'all you the storehouse, because He left those gifts in there for you. But like I said, we'll have that conversation with earning and deserving. We'll have that conversation later on. You know, but as long as you know that He that is within you is better than those that's outside of you, you have an understanding that everything starts within you. At least we can start there. At least we can start at that topic of, what's going on in me that can make me a better person. Nothing outside of me can, it can add to me, but it can't make me a better person. Everything has to be within the change. The improvement starts within you. The growth starts within you. The love starts within you. The peace starts within you. All of that starts within. And when you understand that it starts within, and when you continue to nurture it, it'll come outside of you. I know people don't feel like I'm a joyous person, but I guess what? I'm a joyous person to me, because I understand everything that I'm doing, everything that I've done is started from a genuine place within me. And so I can sleep well at night because I know that everything that I'm doing is for a right reason, not a wrong one. Not to not to prove anybody to anybody that this ain't fake or whatever the case may be. I am me. I'm not. I will never walk away from that. You know what I mean? I won't walk away from that at all. So, but at the end of the day, like I said, I definitely just wanted to check in. I just wanted to make sure, you know what I mean, that I want those that care to understand that I'm okay. I'm doing good. I know, it may be a while, you know what I mean? Life is life, but I'm okay. I'm still here. You know, if I had numbers, I would, even when I do the posts and the shares, it's just to let y'all know that I'm still around. I'm still okay. I'm still here. Right. And that's the bottom line. You know what I mean? I just wanted to check in. I just wanted to make sure, you know what I mean? Not to say, hey, I'm done or whatever the case, I'm giving up or anything like that. I just want y'all to know that I'm doing okay. I'm still around. I'm still hey, I'm still going to do what I do. You know what I mean? You still need to talk. Hey, I I hear YouTubers now got messaging. So I don't know how it works, but if you need to talk, hey, leave something in the post or on the community wall or whatever this thing is called now. You need to vent. I'm still here. Just tell me what I need to do to get in contact with you. I'm here. I'm available. I'll make myself available. You know what I mean? But I had to be strong enough to do it. I had to be capable of presenting myself to do it. And that's the thing that I'm doing. So, like I said, I just wanted to do that. I needed time for myself. And now I'm checking in to make sure that people, hey, I'm still here. I broke it down to where I'm still available. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm gonna be around. We'll probably, like I said, tomorrow we'll probably be a sports chat. So much to talk about in the world of sports. We'll be over there tomorrow. Uh, you know, and like I said, something inspires me. I'll be here. You want to talk about something? Hey, leave it in the. You want to have a conversation with me about something? Hey, we can do that too. Hey, just check in. I was just worried about you. Okay, I'm fine, Scorp. I'm doing well. I appreciate you looking out for me. I appreciate you checking on me. Riaz is always doing something. You know what I mean? So I don't, I just say, hey, Riaz, I'm okay. Good evening, good afternoon, because he's on the other side of the pond. So his hours are different from ours. And I'm doing well this afternoon. I'm doing well this afternoon. This afternoon for us. It's about to be evening for him. But when he does something, you check him and you make sure he knows that, you know, I see what you did, Riaz. You doing good. I see you. Keep going. Keep the progress going. And that's pretty much what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? But always understand that I'm available. I'm gonna talk to him today because he's supposed to been call me and I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to check on him. Matter of fact, right after this, I'm gonna check on him because I know he's gonna say, "Damn, you went live. I ain't even get the message." All right, don't worry about it. But I'm gonna tell him Scorp says and that's why I'm telling you, sometimes when you do the good deeds, you know what I mean. When you do these type of things on this app, of course you're going to touch somebody. Of course you're going to make somebody feel a way. You know what I mean? You're going to encourage. You're going to do something that. Hey, I definitely understand that. You don't know how much that meant to me, and that's what makes me keep coming back because I don't know what it's doing for people. I don't know how much that is helping somebody. But if it is, I've got to continue to do it because if I feel nobody else is doing it, I got to continue to do it. But at the same time, no buts. At the same time, I got to make sure I have the strength to continue to go, even if there's, like I said, even if nobody tells me that, right? Nobody wants to fight a losing battle, right? And at the same time, nobody wants to quit. So, you know, but like I said, I just wanted everybody to know that I'm still around. I'm still okay. What's been going on with me over the past couple of weeks, taking care, being there for family, being there for loved ones, being there for friends, whatever the case may be. It does not mean I forgot about you. It doesn't mean that at all. It's just more consuming over there to where, damn, I got to get myself together. Because sometimes, you know what I mean, you do so much, you drain yourself. Like this weekend, I didn't know heat can drain you like that. I was drained. I'm still trying to recover. I ain't, I can wake up and feel like I didn't sleep for 8 hours. I can sleep 10 hours and feel like I slept for two. Why? Because something was drained from me. Some people want to say it was the sun. It could have been more than that, but I got to make sure that I examine myself to make sure that I'm able to be who I am consistently. It doesn't mean that I'm ill. It doesn't mean that I'm sick. It doesn't mean that my health is failing. It just means sometimes your body just tells you to sit down. Sometimes your spirit just tells you to sit down. Sometimes your soul tells you to just chill out. And when those things occur, you need to follow suit because you don't know what the message is behind it. If you don't need to be around, that's why you gotta make sure that you're okay. If I start following everybody's lead, I could be in the wrong sector. I could be somewhere I ain't supposed to be at. So you gotta make sure that you are conditioned enough to stay in your lane, or if you think you're strong enough to go into the next lane, you better be ready to switch the lane if you ain't fast enough for it, or you're not rolling with that lane. You don't have that cruise control on. You need to stay to your right, stay in your lane. So like I said, I just wanted to, like, once again, I just wanted to check in. Shout out to Score. Uh, Appreciate you as always, dear. Continue to be a blessing. Riaz, continue to be a blessing. Those in the background, continue to be a blessing. But more importantly, in order to bless someone, you got to take care of yourself as well. There is no blessing of you leaving. The only blessing that that happens if you leave is that somebody's going to miss you if you're doing the things correctly. Whether it's your family, your friends, or whoever, they'll miss you. So be a blessing. Get your flower. Well, you'll get your flowers from those that truly care. But the blessing part is that know that you are helping somebody help themselves or improve themselves. You're giving them the key to advance into the next to their next level by just saying hi. Hope all is well. Speak words of life into themselves and remember to speak words of life into yourself. So with that being said, y'all, appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all later. I'm out.